what exactly has transpired over this weekend throughout the NFL in preseason weekend number 2. All right. So, first and foremost, let's start off talking about the Patriots versus the Packers, right? The final score ended up being 21-17, but the game ended up getting suspended in the fourth quarter because Isaiah Bolden, who in my honest opinion should not have been in the game still. All right, he's a starter. This guy's a starter, and this is the fourth quarter. He got hurt. Okay, he collided with a teammate by the name of Calvin Munson on a short completion to Packers receiver Malik Heath. Bolden had feeling in all extremities as reported, and so far everything so good. So that's a beautiful thing that with that young man right there. But as far as the game's concerned, so the Packers started the game with a bad shotgun snap from the center to Jordan Love on the second play from scrimmage, right? And so the Patriots ended up getting the ball. Then Mac Jones led 8 plays for 21 yards for a touchdown. Ramondre Stevenson scored the touchdown on the run. And then Jordan Love did what Jordan Love has done this whole preseason. He's managed to miss a wide open wide receiver again. Now, he did it one time. It was his fault. The second time it was Romeo Doubs' fault because he drifted too far out of bounds, drifted too far towards the sideline when he was supposed to be creating space between the sideline and himself as he's running down the sideline with the corner on the end over the left shoulder. So, I mean, everybody keeps talking about Jordan Love's going to be okay. Everything's going to be good. He's a franchise quarterback, this and that and the third. I'm not saying the man's going to be a bad quarterback, but from everything that I'm seeing so far, I'm not seeing anything that's telling me he's going to be a great quarterback. All I'm seeing is he's going to be a quarterback. All right. Now, last time I checked, you don't win Super Bowls and you don't go to playoffs with just quarterbacks. I could be crazy. Even though Brad Johnson was just a quarterback, some would say. Even though Trent Dilfer was just a quarterback, some would say. Those were good quarterbacks at their own time, man. Those boys was okay at their own time.
They were good game managers.
Well, look, just the average quarterback. The average quarterback can't be a game manager. That's the problem.
No. Basically, that's what they were asked to do, though. Trent Dilfer and they will manage the game. Just don't turn the ball over. We had that type of defense. You feel what I'm saying? Then when Trent Dilfer won at Baltimore, look at the defense he had at Baltimore. So all he had to do was just don't turn the ball over and let the defense, manage the offense and let the defense win you the game. That's basically was a recipe for them two quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
If you ask them to throw too much, you ask them for trouble. You know
but that comes down to coaching. That's your fault as a coach. That's a Byron Leftwich move if you're asking somebody to throw too much at the end of the day. So what I'm saying is Jordan Love really going to be a franchise? People talk about he's going to be a franchise quarterback. I'm not seeing it.
But you gotta. I take it like this. When dudes feel like they already got a starting position, I don't feel like they go as hard in the preseason. They don't try to put themselves in harm's way. They try to make those just to get the repetition. I don't really feel like they out there trying to win the starting job. So I don't feel like he's really giving his best foot forward. But at the same time, I do see flashes where I see that he could be a good quarterback. I'm not saying he is or he ain't, because to me, you practice how you play. Yeah. But at the same time, I can understand why these players don't put as much effort into these games, because if you end up getting hurt, man, it's like that could be
you wasting your time.
So I can understand why someone play a little bit of lackadaisical, and like Baker Mayfield, I see that he tries to make certain throws when I feel like he wouldn't do that in the game. You get what I'm saying? I just see certain things that I know I
that
hope I
he.
want to see them doing in the game. I'm gonna say that.
It's not a hope. It's a
'Cause
no. It's a I know. It's a I know. But that's what you're supposed to be doing in practice. That's why look, I'm not gonna all the way dump on Jordan Love. Jordan Love dropped a dime to Jalen Reed for that touchdown. Okay, Jalen Reed, rookie wide receiver out of Michigan State that they got this year. He dropped a dime to him. That was a perfect pass. That was a great pass. I liked it
that's
right
why I
there, right
say.
down the seam. But at
That's
the
why
end
I
of
say
the
I see
day,
flashes. Like he'll let you see some flashes. Jordan Love will let you see some throws where you'll be like,
there's a
wow.
lot of
Then
quarterbacks
you'll
out there
see
letting
something
you see
like,
some flash right now. I mean, let's
yeah,
talk
but
about
then
Kenny Pickett. Kenny
but
Pickett showing flash too.
yeah, picking. Hey,
Bailey Zappi shows you some flash. He showed some flash in this game. Like there's a lot of decent quarterback play right now. I was listening to a report earlier today, right, Face,
mm,
on ESPN, and they were discussing the fact uh of Trey Lance, okay,
mm,
and the fact that Kyle Shanahan gave up all that he gave up to get him to move up all those spots. All right. He traded those first round picks or whatever like that so he could try to get Trey Lance. He passed over Mac Jones. He passed over several other quarterbacks, all right, that are at least playing in the NFL today. All right. And at the end of the day, he's still He's still doing what he's doing, man. Trey Lance is not going to see the field right now. Trey Lance does not have the experience to touch an NFL field because he never played enough in college. He's played a total of I want to say like 7 games or 8 games since high school. All right,
since high school.
since high school, brother. Because remember, COVID happened, so he didn't play that whole season. Then he only played 1 game the season before he went to the NFL. So yeah, he only played like 3 games, 4 games of COVID year. Then he played 1 game the next year before he went to the NFL, and he's played what 2 games for San Francisco. And he started and played through
And,
maybe three.
and I think he gonna end up being a backup over there.
Oh, they're talking about it. Listen, if you listen to the pundits around America right now, they're talking about he's a career third stringer. Career third stringer.
I,
He was the
I know
third
I
pick
know
in the
he
NFL draft.
I know he ain't getting back in front of Brock. He ain't
No.
getting Purdy.
Purdy
Purdy
make
locked
it
that
look
in
pretty,
over there.
man. Purdy make it look
Yeah.
pretty. Purdy make it look pretty. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, so when I talk about this game, Patriots versus the Packers, all right, you also have to discuss the fact that Bailey Zappi manages to do what Bailey Zappi's managed to do this whole time. Every time you see Bailey Zappi come in the game, he's electric. I like Bailey Zappi. I think Bailey Zappi. I would have liked Bailey Zappi here in Tampa. All right, that's how much I like Bailey Zappi. He would have been good for this quarterback competition we got down here. Not to say that I'm not happy about what we got right now with Baker Mayfield. I am happy with Baker. I'm okay with that right now. But at the end of the day, I do like Bailey Zappi. I'm just a fan of Bailey Zappi's, man. And when you see Bailey Zappi drop that dime like he did to Kayshon Boutte, what was it? 42-yard strike for a touchdown with 56 seconds left in the second quarter, man. Bailey Zappi, Mac Jones can try to hold that young man down as much as he wants, man. But when Bailey Zappi comes in the game, it's just a different energy. That's just how I feel. I like Mac Jones. It's just different energy when Bailey Zappi's out there. I don't know. Maybe it's just that backup energy.
Hey, when you fighting for that spot, and you determine every time you get a chance, you get an opportunity. And some people that's just some people DNA they make up. They can make things happen because it's like different players bring different things to the field, man. He might just be one of those type of players that could get these guys going. People might believe, like I don't know, it's just certain players bring certain things, and Mac Jones might be the starter this year. Anything happens to him, that could be it.
Hold on, man.
He's making a good. He's making
So,
a good case. He's making a
so,
good case for himself, though.
so, Face, if you want to talk about players that don't bring anything to the table, right? that don't bring nothing. I mean, absolutely Nathan to the table at all. I watched these teams all 22s, and it was worthless. All right, and we're gonna go. I'm gonna tell you the two games: the Colts versus the Bears. All right, because the Bears' backup quarterbacks are worthless. PJ Walker, slug. All right, the Colts are looking decent with Gardner Minshew and Sam Ellinger as their backups, but the Bears. And if the Bears lose Justin Fields at any point in time this season, it is a wrap. They got Nathan Peterman over there, I think, but I'm not sure if he's gonna make it or not.
Well, I thought PJ Walker stepped in for Geno Smith last year and did pretty good.
No, PJ Walker stepped in last year for the Colt for the last year he played for the Carolina Panthers. He stepped in and played a
Oh,
couple snaps, not a couple snaps, a couple games
wait.
after Baker because Baker was gone and Sam Darnold was hurt. So PJ Walker was starting. Then they went to Kyle Allen for a little bit, and then it went back to Sam Darnold for a little bit. That like they floated around with quarterback at Carolina, but those are the quarterbacks for
Last
Carolina
time I
Panthers.
seen, last time I seen PJ Walker play, well, I think he was with Seattle still.
Good Lord, that's a hot second ago.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you about another game, man, that we spoke about earlier. What about that Dolphins versus the Texans? How do you feel about that Dolphin offense paired up with that Dolphin defense, man?
Hey, listen, I've been telling you about this since before the season, before the preseason. I said when the Dolphins acquired the players that they acquired, I was like, man, I want to see how these dudes put this on the field. I want to see how it translates. Because when you look at it on paper, it's like, damn, how can a defense stop them? For real, it's like if you was a defensive coordinator and had to come up with a game plan to defend the Miami Dolphins, it's gonna give you fits.
All
You gonna
day,
have
every
fits at
day,
night, man. I'm telling you.
all day, every day.
It,
Because look, it's the
you got
what
to
they
pick your poison.
well, it's multiple things. First off, they got a track team out there. Second off, they're running a style of West Coast offense is run heavy, that creates space or creates opportunities for the wide receivers in short combination routes. All right, so that means that if my wide receiver sees and reads that you are playing a cover two, all right, and he's got three options. He can do the comeback, he can do the button hook, so the comeback is the back and then come back towards the sideline. The button hook is to come back this way, back towards the quarterback. He can do a drag, okay, and he can do uh, a semi. So a semi is a six and out, okay. So that's four different options. You see him running a cover two, that means you probably want to run that drag. Either the drag or you probably want to run that comeback towards the sideline. You know, uh, if he reads the same thing as the quarterback, then of course, that is a reception. But at the end of the day, with that kind of offense installed in Miami, and the fact that Tua is just getting better and more confident back there, man. I mean, Tua looked good after he came out and threw that interception. In my eyes, to me, I think Tua came out and responded very well after he threw that interception on the second play from scrimmage. But
Hey,
you,
you gotta understand something. Tua to me was already a good quarterback. He just, he got the concussion thing. But with all the weapons he got around him, man, he's gonna be a danger. He could get you the ball. Tua got an arm. He could get heal the ball. He could get into those speeds of the ball. So this offense is gonna be very, very difficult to defend, man, because they can take the tops off. They got a running game. It's like you got to pick your poison. You're gonna load the box up to stop the run. You got receivers that you could get, like you say, the short West Coast pass. All they gotta do is get open in the flats. Tariq Hill gonna take 7, 8 yards and turn that into 67 yards. And on defense, if you ain't got the type of speed at linebacker and that back end, it's gonna be trouble, man. You're gonna have to have a special defense to even defend these dudes, man.
Yeah, tell me about it. We know about him
Yeah.
doing backflips on us down here in Tampa. So uh, when you got somebody like Tariq Hill out there, and then you put Jalen Waddle out there with him too, it's a dangerous combination. Also, Devin A-Chain. A-Chain looked good in the Miami Dolphin game. All right. I know it's only preseason. Yeah, I know it really doesn't matter, but
I've been saying this. I've been saying this from the beginning. You say, "Oh, you're a Dolphin fan." No, I ain't a Dolphin fan, but I'm intrigued by the things that I see that it got over there. That's like, I don't know. I really want to see how people defend them. I want to. I want to see how they're gonna try to defend these dudes. Because to me, if I was the defensive coordinator, man, I probably wouldn't even sleep. You know what I mean? Because
oh
you got
no,
to
ain't no
pick your
sleep.
point.
There's no sleep at all. No sleep at all when you got to defend people like that, man. But to keep it in the AFC East, all right, let's talk about a team that, from what I see in the AFC East, really needs to worry. Okay, you're going to see a lot of regression from this team, and that's the Buffalo Bills. Uh, when the Buffalo Bills played the Steelers, first off, the Steelers they started some of their starters, but they didn't start all of their starters. All right, so we'll start there. They started some of their starters the same way they did against Tampa, but they didn't start all of them because the Steelers are a very well coached, very deep team. And the Steelers offense looks dangerous, man. Scoring on his first drive in 8 plays with a 60-yard touchdown run with Jalen Warren, who's the backup. All right. And he did it running behind the tackle, Dan Moore Jr., that Broderick Jones been battling for this whole time, been battling against this whole time at that tackle position. So when you're talking about what I just witnessed with this Steelers versus the Bills game and why I believe the Bills are vulnerable, man, they had to leave Josh Allen in all the way until almost the full third quarter. All right, like the Steelers, Pickett was off the field after the first quarter. He might have played a little in the second, but not much. All right, and then it didn't get any better when Josh Allen got off the field because then you had Matt Barkley throwing interception after interception after interception. And when Josh Allen was on the field, he was running in circles trying to carry the whole team. And that's a recipe for disaster, man. I keep telling
Yeah.
y'all, that is a recipe for disaster. That is the failure of an offensive coordinator being prepared for the game and actually having decent plays installed in the offense. All right. Like that's how I personally feel about that. If your quarterback is
And,
having to run around in circles all day,
and I'm gonna tell you another thing that's gonna always throw that out. When you got the star players having issues, you can't have your quarterback and your number one receiver having issues the way Stephon Diggs is a game changer. You and him got to be on the same page. Y'all can't, because that'll throw everything off because you constantly got to look over there and you see him looking crazy as the body language. If your quarterback reading out of your receiver feel like your quarterback, you know what I'm saying? So I think they need to work that out and come out in front of the team and let them know, hey, man, this ain't about me and Josh. This ain't about, you know what I mean? This ain't a Diggs and Josh Allen thing. This is a Buffalo Bills thing. They need to come together and try to
they need to
work that
squash it,
out.
bro.
They have to. They have to. It's just gonna get worse. It's just gonna get worse because, like you say, the offensive coordinator, he got to try to play mediator. He got to try to be fair and make sure you deal what I'm saying. So that puts a lot of pressure on everybody just because that relationship. So I think they need to go ahead and get that out and work that out before the start of the season. You just got to know, hey man, look, man, this is what it is. Da 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 da. And y'all work it out before the start because y'all gonna hurt that team.
Brother, I don't see it happening though. You remember, you're talking about a wide receiver who pulled the same thing when he was in Minnesota. Remember, in the middle of the playoff game, All right, where they're up by 21 points, he's on the sideline losing his mind because he's not getting the ball. And they won the game. But guess what? They didn't win the next game. And you can't have a wide receiver or anyone for that matter out there with that self-righteous BS. Okay, where it's me above the team. It's never me above the team in football. In football, you need every single person that's out there. You can't get around it. Everybody has to be everybody has to be moving in synchronicity,
Unison.
brother. In unison.
You gotta be
It has to be flow. And if it's not flow and everybody's not moving in the same direction, then it's never gonna work.
Yeah. That's why in certain instances you got coaches trying to be smart. That's why some people playing late in the games because they know like certain positions they didn't have time to work together. Like Josh Allen probably ain't throw to the second and third string receivers in real action yet, really like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if they thinking about keeping these guys around, some of these receivers that we haven't really, that had won that last year, I'll just say that they might be trying to see if they could get some type of continuity with them, whatever reason. Just like Baker Mayfield ain't played the last game because they said that he was supposed to start at the end of the second quarter. You feel what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
they left.
but we left Traskins to give him an opportunity to actually put some points up on the board because he hadn't done anything at that point in time. Which we'll talk about that, and
Exactly.
we're gonna talk about that at the end of this. All right, because I did not give you an opportunity to come on and speak yesterday about the Bucks when I went and did the Strictly Bucks episode. Okay, and if you have not seen the Strictly Buccaneers episode, go ahead and check it out. I will be doing
Go and
one.
check it out.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing one every week from this point forward. There will be at least one episode that is a strictly Bucks episode. I'm still gonna do around the league like I'm doing right now, and I'm gonna cover the odds, and I'm gonna cover the picks, and I'm gonna cover all the
But
background
everybody know it's
information.
about
I'm
these
gonna do
Bucks, man.
everything that I'm doing. But
Everybody knows about these
there
Bucks,
are gonna
man.
be
At
shows
the end of the day,
that are going to be strictly Bucks, and that is a whole different segment under the Game Day with Trey. All right, so that's why it'll be titled Strictly Buccaneers. I'll number the episodes so that you can understand which one we own. Now back to what I'm talking about. So it's just a lot to worry about when you're talking about the Buffalo Bills. The defense didn't look great out there either. Okay, they were getting burnt and toasted
hey,
up and down the field. I mean, look, brother, the Steelers defense had 3 interceptions. You had E. Riley get one, Joey Porter Jr. got one, and Tandem Sullivan, who knows who that is, snagged one. You had a sack fumble caused by the rookie Nick Herbig.
Now let me ask you something. Are you surprised by that?
But no, because Mike Tomlin's a great coach. And every time he comes up against a bum, he treats him like a bum.
I'm never surprised at how well the Pittsburgh Steelers do because I know they're a well-coached team.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin going to keep it even. He don't never get too high on things, too low. The man hasn't had a losing season yet, and he even had some teams that
some bums. He's had some teams full of bums, man. Just call it like it is, man. He had some teams full of bums, brother.
But all he needs is a team. That's what I can say about that man. He got a well coached organization, and the way that he goes about his business, it's just you gotta respect the dude, man. You feel what I'm saying? Just like you say, he might not have the best players or any players that we consider stars.
Top notch.
But he get ready for war every time.
Yeah, every time. Listen, they come out and fight for that man like he's Leonidas. They fight for that man like he's.
I salute Tomlin, man. I salute Mike Tomlin. And and I done heard clamoring about them trying to get rid of him in
brother,
Pittsburgh. How could you do that when the man ain't
brother.
never had a losing
Hold
season
on, brother. You are
with people that
talking
he's
about
supposed to lose with?
a franchise that has only had 3 or 4 head coaches in the whole complete time that the Pittsburgh Steelers have been around. They've only had 3 or 4 head coaches. All right. So respect the fact that that's a franchise that doesn't waver. Okay. And by the fact that they don't waver, it keeps continuity in the building and it leads to success. That's how you end up with somebody like Mike Tomlin. Even though he's not a Steeler, a child of the Steelers, he is a child of that team back there. Okay, coming from the year of Dungy. You heard Rondé tell you
But
about him. But
all that lead back to Pittsburgh though. Dungeon was over there with a steel curtain and
yeah, he was. All of it lead back to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's one of the original founders of the NFL, so of course, you can't look. I'm not disparaging the Pittsburgh Steelers, not at all.
no,
Like I pulled for the
I'm
Pittsburgh Steelers
it's just certain teams that
because you
like I
respect how
never
they
just
play. It's certain teams you
I
respect how they
respect
play.
Pittsburgh. I respect the Patriots. I'm just saying the coaches. I respect Bill Belichick. I respect Mike Tomlin, Andy Reid. These are all dudes who, no matter where they go, they're gonna be well coached. The players are gonna be. It's like certain things could be out of
What about
order.
hold up? What about
Once they
Shanahan?
step in,
What about
huh?
Shanahan over there with the 49ers? What about Shanahan?
Yeah, Shanahan. But I don't know if I would put
him up
Shanahan
there,
is just
brother.
he's an offensive.
And he keeps a good defense. He keeps a mean defense. He keep a
Yeah,
mean
I put
defense,
him up
man.
there. I put
You
him up
can't try
there.
that, man. He
I
keep
put
a
him up
mean
there.
defense,
I put
man.
him.
Like he might not win the Super Bowl, but he's always
But
fighting for it.
I get mixed up with them Shanahans too. You got Kyle, you got
Mike, I dig it.
So sometimes I have to, because I don't know. I just know certain coaches, man. I know their team's gonna be well coached. They're gonna be ready to play every Sunday, no matter what their record is. It don't matter who's hurt. It's like the Patriots. I used to think they were cheating just based on the time that they happened. I'm keeping it 100.
Yeah,
Okay,
because of the colors. No, I know.
2001.
Hold up,
When the Patriots
2001.
took off, right after the Twin Towers.
Yeah, right. 2001,
Right after
right
the
after
Twin
the Twin
Towers took
Tower.
off.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden,
All
New
of a
England
sudden,
Patriots.
no, I said the same thing. Okay, I said the same exact thing. Patriots take
But
off all of a sudden after we get attacked all of a sudden, and yeah,
but once I seen the
that they were
things to
cheating.
build the schemes,
Once you seen they were cheating.
I never seen, huh?
Once you seen they were cheating.
I ain't gonna say they were, I ain't gonna say they were cheating, cause listen,
So what were they doing then?
being well coached.
Look, if you ain't
well coached, preparation
listen.
for war. Listen. Tom Brady, the same, the football thing as far all quarterbacks say they do that. All quarterbacks submitted to their, not as so much, but just for the grip.
What about the multiple games of filming or multiple times they got caught filming the other team's plays?
Hey man, it's the art of war. What you mean? You
Just
if
not,
you slip, you
not
better know
you
what you're
can't do
doing.
that though. You can't do that.
Yeah,
You
listen,
can't do that. Look, I understand. They say if you are not trying to go
you
above
gotta
and
go out there and
beyond,
play the
then
game.
you ain't trying to win. All right, but
you gotta go out there and play the game.
Listen, we're talking about in the Super Bowl, man. You watch those Super Bowls. You watch what happened. You know what I'm talking about.
Listen, I'm gonna show you something. When have you ever seen a coach put in 7 and 9 DBs with 3 down linemen? Like, you feel me? 8 DBs with 3 down linemen. he did something to neutralize the Rams' speed. Nobody never seen that done before. So you can't really say he was
Okay, I'm not just talking about the Rams game. They were down for those first three Super Bowls. They were down all the way until the
Hey,
last second.
it's the
Hold up, it's
American
not.
way,
Hold up, it's
Trey.
not just down. All of a sudden, the other one team running it. I mean, not running it, but doing their thing. And then the second half comes around because you were recording all the plays
Hey,
that said signals and
hey,
they were sending
hey,
in,
hold on,
so
hold
you
on,
knew
hold on.
exactly what to
Could you really?
call when you see the signal. That's why they got penalized. It's been proven, face. It's okay.
Hey,
I
so hold
understand.
on, hold on, hold on,
They
hold on.
still got their
Are
Super
you
Bowl.
really gonna hold on? After experiencing the justice system, after seeing how Vegas is, are you really gonna say these people cheating? That's the American way.
Cheating is part of
It's the
America, man.
this is the American way.
Oh
If you
man.
ain't man, think about it. Capitalism. However you got to get it, that's their way. They capitalize. You feel what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
Oh, you know how that shit go, man.
Hey,
You
that's a
still have to
fact.
go out there and play the
You
game.
right.
You
You
still have
right.
to. If that's the case, we stole the Super Bowl.
Bah, 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 bah.
John Gruden knew all the Raiders plays.
Yes, sir.
But you
Wait,
still
no,
have to go
hold
out
up.
there and play the
Hold up, hold
game.
up. No. John Gruden knew all the Raiders plays because he's the one who made the plays. It's not his
I'm
fault that he
saying.
left and went to another team and you stuck with the same playbook. Whose fault is that?
Why?
That's something
Okay,
that's completely different
but John
from.
Gruden,
Hold up, that is
John Gruden could
completely
have been an upstanding man
that is
and kept it to
completely
himself.
different, face, from
He
you
could have
sitting
kept it
up
to
here
himself.
and recording my plays and my hand signals during the game and watching them at halftime, so that when we send plays in the second half, you can call the right play to counter my play.
Okay. They, hey, listen.
Yeah.
If you let them know, that's why you supposed to have what they call what that's like
Supposed to be like this, face.
it's
Give out
supposed
your
to be
whole
that.
face covered like
Guess
this,
what? You
so
supposed
you
to have
can't see
certain
nothing at
signs that
all.
you do
And then
that don't mean
and
nothing.
no hand signals, no nothing. You just
Now they
look.
got signs and all kind of stuff out there.
I know
But
they
what
do.
I'm saying is
I know
this:
they do. I know they do. But this is a
if it's
Super
that
Bowl,
easy
and
for you to
they
be
couldn't
told,
hear nobody. The mics weren't really working. So this is what I'm saying,
but
face.
if your
Face
plays could be decoded that
what's
fast and
legal.
easy,
What's legal is legal, and what's illegal is legal. What's illegal is
well, you know my
legal.
book. Hey, you know how I go on my book. Ain't nothing illegal until you get caught.
Exactly.
Ain't nothing illegal. Cause listen, I'm not gonna tell you to be no straight arrow in a crooked ass society. I ain't gonna. I know all NFL coaches cheat if they could cheat and get away with it.
Oh
All of
yeah.
them would do it.
Yeah.
So
Well, everybody does a little something, brother. Everybody has their
now
own thing.
now they go to if you go as far as poison the other team or something like that, then you going too far.
Yeah.
But if you gain an intel, because that's what people do. They look at players and watch his tendencies.
Tells.
Oh,
His
he ball right
tendencies.
here. That's what people do. They break down the information. But okay, they didn't get it in the upright fashion. But if you would let me see what you're doing and I could break it down, that's your fault too. Because if you doing signs in the air with your hand and a person could see, you got to switch it up in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
It should be a way to, because you know somebody could be watching. They film it everywhere. Everywhere got cameras now. So, you know.
Man, this was 2001, face 2003 and 2004.
Man, the people been lining up saying they've been to the moon and all. Where you think they get it from? What do you think?
Man, they've been lying to us. Hold up, they've been lying to us, telling us there ain't no aliens, but yet now you telling us there's aliens.
Now guess what they finna? Hold on. Now this the kicker. They about to tell our kids that slavery was good for us, that we capitalized and gained through slavery.
Exactly.
That's what they finna tell our kids.
I know that. I know that. Look, I had a full conversation on the other podcast y'all can check out.
Don't worry about Bill Belichick. Don't worry about Bill Belichick. No, he wasn't really cheating. He was just being smart. Bill was just being
Oh,
smart. I'm being honest
word.
with you. To me, because guess what? When it comes to preparing, hey,
It is
so
what it is.
you still got to go out there and play the game. You can know all the signs in the world. They might not even use them signs. Then what you'll say? It's
Man,
just
they taking the signs
wasting
that you was
time.
using in the middle of the game. You can't change the signs in the middle of the game. They would record the signs in the first half, watch them during halftime, and then when you sending your signs in the second half, they watching for those signs and know what play to call.
What about on offense when they had to come back?
What do you
When
mean?
they gave the ball to James,
They did the
when they
same
gave the
thing.
ball
It
to
went
James
both
White 10
ways.
times in a row.
But man, look,
I'm just
listen. That's why he won by a field goal. It wasn't. It wasn't a. It wasn't a large sum of a comeback. I mean, it was a heck of a comeback, but at the same time, he won by a field goal. He won by a field goal every Super Bowl. First three Super Bowls, field goal.
but I'm
And then
just
as
trying
soon
to
as
tell
they and then
y'all,
as soon as they caught him about cheating, all of a sudden, he lose Super Bowls. See how that worked?
because it ain't got nothing to do with Tom Brady and them two.
I'm not talking
They
about
gonna put
Tom Brady. I'm talking about
listen,
Belichick. We talking about Belichick.
listen.
Look, when you talk about the coaches that you were talking about a second ago,
Okay,
when you talking about the Andy Reid, when you talking about the
well let me
Belichick,
ask you
when
something.
you talk about the when
Let me ask you something. Let me just ask you something.
yeah.
Do you think that Vegas cheated all? Do you think that all this is like what it is? You think every game that's played is what it is, or you don't think it's nothing behind none of this?
Oh, there's money on everything, brother. But I
I believe they
also
know who's gonna win the Super Bowl.
I
I
don't think
believe
they
they
know
got a.
that. I think that's too
I
hard to
believe they
pick.
do.
I think it's too hard to pick because you can't make sure nobody gonna get hurt. That's the problem. You can't make sure don't nobody get hurt. Some of these dudes don't even get hurt on the field. Some of these dudes get hurt walking in their house. Who knew that Henry Ruggs was gonna hit a lady driving drunk? Raiders were on point, looking good that year until he went and hit a lady and her kid, and while he was driving drunk, going 140 miles an hour,
Who
wrecked the
that?
whole season. Henry Ruggs, wide receiver, the one for out there for the Raiders that just got that sentence, who just went to prison. You can't predict all that type of stuff.
But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Tom Brady ain't no cheater. They don't do it. Him and Belichick ain't do nothing that nobody else ain't do. All sports got something slick with it.
Of course,
You got some baseball players put shit on the ball when they pitch it. You feel me?
man.
It's different things that I don't know, man. I just feel like all of us got something with it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't feel like he
everybody
did.
got something in the game, dog. Everybody got something in the game. I agree with you on that. All right, so one last thing before we go, right? And I want to ask you because I have not gotten a chance to ask you yet, Faith. Who is the quarterback that the Bucks are going to get for the third string quarterback if you have Wolford out? So if Wolford's out this week, who plays? Is it going to be Baker all game? Is it going to be Baker for half the game and Trask for half the game?
I
Like,
think that's what it's gonna be.
what happens if one of those guys get hurt? I mean, for real, with the Buccaneers are not in a good situation when you're talking about quarterback right now because of the fact that Wolford got hurt like that. I'm just saying that is not a good look, man.
But I think he just had a stinger or something. I don't know if he out for the. I don't think he's gonna be
No,
out that long.
yeah, it's just a stinger. But at the end of the day, them things come back. I mean, what we're doing right now is
I think
we're finna put whoever
I
our
already heard him
possibly
say that
starting
both of them.
quarterback is, whoever our starting quarterback is right now, because he still has not announced, even though he has announced, you know, that it. So whoever our starting quarterback is. He's going to be playing this weekend. That's not good. I mean, not unless you're going to play Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. And I don't want you to play
I,
Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. If you ain't played them
I
yet
say
all preseason, so why are you going to play him now?
just the just uh, I feel like certain coaches going to play their players a little more than other players, just knowing that they trying to get the advantage of getting that rhythm. You know what I mean? Getting the early rhythm with these starting players. So I feel like that's part of the reason why they was gonna start Baker and Trash and let them play through the game anyway. But at the same time, I feel like if you try to yeah, like no, I'm saying if just go out there with the mindset it's like a regular game. Because if you go out there just thinking about preseason and you get hurt or you feel what I'm saying, I don't want to put him out there. He might get hurt. It could happen in the time. So sometimes you might need to go ahead and get some rhythm with your offense, man. Let them boys get a few snaps.
Oh no, it's time. It's time. It's time. Like it's definitely time, and it's time for some answers on Ryan Jensen too, because I need to know who the starting center is. But that's for a whole nother podcast because we could talk about Ryan Jensen and who's going to be the center and the offensive line all day. So,
But I think that would have been. I think that was gonna be part of the plan though, regardless if your boy would have got hurt. I think they were gonna let Baker play the star. You feel what I'm saying? And
mhm.
let Trash so they could really see. You feel what I'm saying? Because right now, I feel like Baker was the leader. I feel like Baker was in the lead on the low for real.
I
I
know
told you
Baker was
that.
in the league. Baker's still in the league.
That Trash just made a case for himself to let them see. Now they going. But me
Sean Tucker
personally,
made a case. We spoke about this earlier. Sean Tucker made a case for Kyle Trask. That's who made the case. Kyle Trask didn't make a case for himself. Sean Tucker made
and,
that case when he made
and
that
Trey
run around the right side.
Trey made the catch for him because that really was a pull.
Exactly.
Trey
Look,
Palmer,
yeah,
Trey Palmer made a
the
heck of
tap
a
it to
play
himself.
to even score that touchdown. He made a couple of good throws in between there, like the one he threw in between the safety and it was a damn near perfect throw. But
Yeah, I mean, but
I just don't see. I feel like
I I need to see more
he's
rhythm.
playing at the top of his game, and it really ain't no difference.
Exactly. That's the
I feel like
problem.
this
This
the
is the
best
best you're
he's
gonna
ever
ever see.
played in his life, and
Yes.
it's barely like mediocre. It's like okay.
Yeah, it's like okay, you could play a couple series, but I really don't want you in there for more than a half. This is how I feel.
But I think Baker gonna get the nod though.
Oh no, Baker's
I
definitely
think
gonna
Baker
get the
gonna.
nod. I made a strong, compelling case about that last night. I want to say it's something like 69 or 69 starts versus 9 passes total in the NFL. Who are you gonna start in Minnesota when you got all them people up there with their face painted and horns going and the crowd clapping, ah, skull, skull,
People
and
purple
all
eaters.
that crazy
The
insanity?
purple people
Purple
eaters.
people eaters going crazy. The Minnesota Curbs out there going wild. Yeah, all that. Yeah, man, come on, man. You don't want to see that, man. Not with Kyle
But guess
Trask.
what? But guess what? I ain't gonna lie. I feel like Baker play up to moments like that.
I know he does.
Like
That's why you don't want to put Kyle in that moment. You want to put
he
Baker
want
in
that
that moment.
moment. Like
Yeah, you
that's
want
his
to put
thing.
Baker in
So
that moment, man. I understand what he's thinking. I peep the logic, man. I peep the logic. But all right, been a great podcast, great episode tonight, man. I listen, you guys. I know we were all around the board, but at the end of the day, man, it's all here in the just of fun. All right. But just know that this season's coming. I think we got like 15 days or 14 days. And week 0 is coming up soon. So you should be watching this on Tuesday, most likely. If you're lucky to catch it in the first few hours that it's out. maybe on a Monday night, late night. If I put it out late night, depends. But
Man, we coming every day. We
hold
coming.
up,
Got
hold
college.
up. You got week
We
zero.
got college
Week zero
football.
is this week. So you got me, Faith, here every day of the week. We record. So y'all be ready, man, because we're gonna be here with some information for you. Y'all have a blessed day. Stay safe. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace.
Peace.